back with more Final Fantasy. At this point, I think I'm pretty much at the end of Heavensward. So I'm going to try to get through as much story as I can. And get us set up for my next stream. Where I'll start getting to the next expansion. I think we have to get over here. Ah, Lions, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I need you to meet with the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. Where am I? Taro Diamond Forge. That's apparently somewhere. I think this is where Totaro makes us some outfits. She's made outfits for, like, everybody else. I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. Alright, everyone. Did you go to work? No squirming now. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes. That is not a good look. Okay, all finished. The warrior lights every measurement from heroic head to intrepid toe. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Lions. All in good time. Aha! Found you. Alphanode wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting.
We're here. Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Orianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now. A soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our number step forward, must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede he might struggle to balance his new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Don't forget fishing.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! Help! I need some help here!
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Yashola! Please, you have to help her.
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I should depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emmerich and encourage him to send an envoy. Tataru, Krile, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
Yeah, maybe Y'shtola should be in the role of leader. Goddamn.
I suspect the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Okay, so now we have to go to the Knight's Most Heavenly, which... back in Foundation. Greetings, Warrior of Light. Business brings you here to Ishgard. I see. Wait here. I will summon Saramrik. Good to see you, my friend. It's a pity, but it'd be under such circumstances. If Lucia had not informed me of your urgency of your suit, I'd certainly have sent you for some wine. Back to business. Thank you for bringing these developments to Alamigo to our attention. Ishgard will, of course, send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we must forego the formalities of full assembly, but I will still need to consult my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Give me some time to make the necessary arrangements. I thank you. A representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handelop that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Lions, pray accompany Lucia to the gates of judgment and get ready to depart for Gridania. I'll have our envoy join you as soon as I can. To speed you on your way. You have no further business in the city. Please join me at the gates of judgment. You must be ready to depart at the instant the envoy arrives. Should be getting pretty close to the end of this expansion. I'm actually not too sure how much we have to go. I think as soon as we get done with Belsar's Wall, that's it. Meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgar's envoy. No, I can see that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be as it may, I could not in good conscience make the decision alone, not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's Book of Statutes. I trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I would see the garrison is ready to defend the border. Garrison commander waits within. Why not accompany me, Lions? Let me see a familiar face. You're not Hashafont. Lions, old boy. Wonderful to see you. Sir Emmerich, too. Though I owe these unexpected pleasures. I'll have some mulled wine brought up from the kitchen at once, if you would excuse. Nay, do not trouble yourself, Alright. We shall soon be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander. Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing to the to an Imperial. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you suggest. We should also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Francel in the Observatorium. So you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. Surprised to see yours truly at the helm. Yeah, a little bit, actually. You and me both, old boy. Doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. We can't but play the hands we're dealt. With a little help from the veterans and Holy Knight's careless childing, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So worry not, old boy. Off to Gridania with you. Now we go back over to Gridania. Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I fear I is enraptured by the Black Shroud's beauty now as when I first laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. Seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus Stand, a pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? Lance of a Lifetime? I'm not sure what that quest is. Alright, we're gonna go to Conjurer's Guild. Okay. The envoy from Ishgard has arrived. Very good. This way if you... the Lamenson party as well. Hey, Jagiri. Hope to slip it unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Emmerich. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Lions, I trust you are well. It's the date for reunions, it seems. I believe you're well acquainted with my escort. Master Lions, I was glad to hear from Royal that the missing science have now been found. There is much and more I would like to discuss with you, but let's first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This Griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity.